MP to all cars. Armed robbery on security vehicle
Juliet,
now.
4 to MP.
4 men.
Off watch.
Zulu 1 to MP. Disturbance in High Street. Gang of youths
MP
fighting
to
with
Golf,
knives.
1-1.
Request assistance, over.
Suspects on premises.
CID, Chief Inspector Roach. Yes. Yes, give him my compliments and tell him I'm engaged at the moment, but I'll see him as soon as I'm free. Thank you. Your troubles have started. Darcy is downstairs. He has come for your scalp, and he wants to speak to his 3 young clients.
Well, can't you stall him?
For how long?
I need time to think.
I'll keep him talking, I'll keep him waiting, but after that.
Thank you, sir.
But don't take too long.
What do we do now, Dave?
Well, figure it out.
Do you know this Julius Dancy?
Yeah, I know him. He's given me a rough time in court once or twice. And I've given his clients a rough time. There's no love lost. I don't believe that story about Billy Lowry being miles away.
Yeah, Jim Harrison has checked it.
Jack! A minute.
Yes, Dave.
Where's Mr. Dancy?
Well, he's gone up to see Mr. Roach.
Anything from information room about Billy Lowry?
No. Seems he's nowhere around.
The lad's still in separate rooms?
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, come on, Max. We'll see if they still remember their story.
Right.
No, wait a bit. Go out after Billy. See if you can find him. Go round Bilton Street, into the cafes and the market. Ask anyone you bump into when they last saw him. Ask Ma Lowry. And don't forget to tell her that he's off with £50,000. She's a greedy old bitch. And good luck with it.
Yeah, you too.
All right, Jimmy. Let's start again.
You never give up.
Never.
Has our brief got here yet?
Yes, he's here. He's busy with Mr. Roach.
Then what's there to start about? We'll be out of this in a couple of minutes.
I still have some questions to ask.
I've already answered your questions. Your trouble, mate, is that you haven't the sense to know what's true.
You mean all that stuff about being in bed, fast asleep?
That's right.
You're thick in the head, Jimmy. Thick as 2 planks. Last time we were alone in this room, you told me you were on that job.
I told you what?
That you were all on that job.
When did I say that?
When I told you how much Billy had gone off with, and you said that Billy was away fixing it up with Mr. Dancy.
And who'll believe you?
The point is, Jimmy, I believe me. And it wasn't Billy who went to see Mr. Dancy. It was your ma who sent for him. Billy has gone, blown, vanished with the cash.
You can save all that, Brook. Our brief is here and we'll be home in a couple of jiffs. And then your troubles will start.
Like what?
A big complaint to your boss. We'll want to know why we were dragged out of bed, brought here, not allowed to speak to each other, and accused of shooting a geezer. It isn't funny, accused of shooting a bloke.
No. And it isn't funny being shot either. And you were on that job.
You'll have me in tears. Brook, you're in dead trouble. You did my old man, and half of what you said about him was bull. You stitched him. It's a grudge, isn't it? But we're not like the old generation. We don't stand and wait for it. We take steps to protect ourselves.
Like fixing the story first and then doing the job.
How does it feel to be fitted up?
Yes?
Dave, Mr. Dancy's waiting to see you. Sent down by Mr. Roach.
What did I tell you?
Shut up. Thanks, Jack. Hey, do you still have that spare room?
Yeah, it was reserved for the big brother. You might as well use it for the lawyer.
Good morning, Mr. Dancy.
Morning, Sergeant.
Will you come this way, please? We can use this room. Now, Mr. Dancy, what can I do for you?
I want to see my clients. They are James Lowry, Thomas Lowry.
I know who your clients are, Mr. Dancy, and you can't have a word with them. Not yet.
Why not, Sergeant?
Because they're helping me with my inquiries into an armed robbery, the theft of a rather large sum of money, and the shooting of a security guard.
Tell me, are they helping you as witnesses of this event or as possible suspects of the crime?
What do you think?
It's not what I think, Sergeant. I'm waiting for your answer.
As possible suspects, sir, since they fit the descriptions given by the security guard.
And because of their previous records.
Mr. Dancy, you are a lawyer, and as such also an officer of the court. You're well aware of police responsibilities and procedures, and have a duty not to obstruct the process of law.
I also have a duty to my clients.
Of course.
I've had a talk with your chief inspector, and I found him helpful.
I'm sure you did.
May I see my clients?
Not yet.
Have my clients signed any statements?
No, Mr. Darcy, it seems they've been instructed not to.
Instructed?
Advised. I still have some inquiries to make, so, if you'll excuse me.
I trust it will not take too long. I'm a very busy man.
Mrs. Lowry?
What is it?
Detective Constable Maxton. Can I have a word with you?
About what?
About your sons.
Why come here? You got 'em down at the station.
Not all of them. We're looking for Billy.
He don't live here now.
Where does he live?
That's for you to find out.
That's why I'm here, Mrs. Lowry. To try to find out. I've spoken to one or two of his friends and they say he's in Stockport.
Well, now you know. My boy's in Stockport. He has a job there, a good job, so why won't you let him be?
I want to know where he is, Mrs. Lowry. Do you know where he works?
No. And if you'll just move your feet, I'll have my own work to do.
Sorry. I was told he's on a building site.
Yeah, that's right. A building site.
And what's the name of the firm?
Name?
They do have names, Mrs. Lowry. The people who own building sites.
He didn't tell me.
When did you last see him?
Not since he went away.
His friends say he's been home for weekends. He's been seen.
They're wrong. They've seen Jimmy, maybe, mistook him, but not Billy. He hasn't been home for 4 or 5 weeks. What do you want him for?
Same thing as we want your other lads for. We're wondering what happened to the money.
What money?
The money they got away with last night. I thought you might know. You have 2 sons down at the nick without a penny between them. And you have another son on the loose.
Are you saying that my Billy...
Of course not, Mrs. Lowry. I just want to talk to him.
You got a fag?
No, Mrs. Lowry.
Is it a lot of money?
Whoever has it won't need to work on building sites, that's for sure. And won't want to live around here anymore.
How much did you say?
I didn't. But I will. £50,000. But if Billy wasn't here last night, it couldn't be him.
No, it couldn't. It couldn't be Billy.
Thanks then, Mrs. Lowry. I'll let you get on with your work.
No, wait. Do you have a light?
Yes.
Thanks. Now, this thing you say happened last night.
Didn't Mr. Darcy tell you?
No, he didn't tell me anything. But it was what their dad asked for. If the boys get in trouble, phone Mr. Darcy, he said, so I phoned him this morning.
What did he say?
Oh, all he said was, yes, Mrs. Lowry, I'm already onto it, don't worry.
Are you worried?
Depends what happened last night, doesn't it?
4 lads broke into offices in Manton Street and got away with all the cash. We fancy your boys for it. We have 2 of them down at the station, but they don't have the money.
So you're looking for Billy?
Yes.
Well, he ain't here.
Ma, are you in?
Oh, my God.
Is that Billy?
Oh, go away, Billy. Get out of here.
Where are you, Ma?
Oh, you bloody young fool. The law's here.
OK, Ma, so the law's here. Are you the law?
Detective Constable Maxton.
I see. And what does he want?
He wants you, you stupid lout. That's what he wants. He's looking for you, and you walk right into it.
Looking for me? I've just come to visit you, Ma, for the weekend. I wrote to you, didn't I?
Oh, of course you did. That's right. You wrote to me.
Pleased to see me?
Of course I am. Real pleased.
Where's Jimmy?
He's in the nick. And so is Tommy and Hughie. That's why he's here.
I see. It's something I can do for you, Constable.
You could come to the station with me.
Why not?
Billy.
It's all right, Ma. There's nothing to worry about.
Billy, stay with me. Have some breakfast. I want to talk to you.
I won't be long, Ma. I'll be back and we'll have a long talk. Do we go now?
Yes.
Mr. Darcy is there, Billy. See him first.
Well, what are we waiting for?
It's called the process of law, Jimmy. We ask questions, then we check the answers, and then we try and put 2 and 2 together.
And it takes as long as this?
Well, as you know, we're not very bright.
You can say that again.
Certainly. As you know, we're not very bright.
Very funny. Did Mr. Darcy laugh at your jokes?
Nobody laughs at him.
When do I see him?
You're brief. Very soon, I'm afraid. Then you villains can get together and cook up a real story. A better story than that nonsense about all being in bed. And then find your witnesses and all the rest of it.
You could be done for saying that.
Sure, yeah, I could be done for a lot of things this morning. Things I've done, things I've left undone, and a few things I haven't had time to do. It's the things left undone, Jimmy, that smart lawyers can drive the coach and horses through.
Feeling sorry for yourself?
Yeah, a bit. Feeling more sorry for Mr. Denning and his kids.
You could try feeling sorry for me and Tommy and Huey. Stuck here all night with you making jokes about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't lock you all up.
I'll buy a ticket for your next dance.
Thanks.
Come in.
Dave, I've brought Billy Lowry in.
He's a liar. It's one of your tricks, Brooke. It won't work.
OK, Jimmy, it won't work. All right, Max, let's go and have a look at him.
I know it's a trick.
Where'd you find him?
I was at his mother's house when he walked in. He says he's just arrived from Stockport for the weekend.
Do you believe he's just arrived?
No. And you should have seen his ma's face when he said it. She was telling him to run for it, but
Yeah?
he wanted to come. So I think you're going to have some trouble.
Right, then we'll both have a go at him. I'll talk, you write down the answers. Morning, Billy.
Morning, Mr. Brook.
Nice of you to come and help us.
Always willing. What's it about?
Just a few things we have to check. Do you mind if DC Maxton makes a few notes?
Fine with me.
Good. Is it true, Billy, that you're away from the family now? Got a job in the north?
Yeah.
Do you mind telling us who you're working for?
Why not? McAlpine's. Been working for him for a month and a bit on a building site. You can check it.
And you've come down to see your ma?
Yeah.
When did you get into London?
4:10 this morning. Went to see Ma and met your friend there.
You didn't come last night?
No, on the early morning train.
Are you sure, Billy? We can check.
Of course I'm sure. I was on it, wasn't I?
What time do you knock off on Fridays up there?
Well, usually about 4:30. Oh, I see what you mean. Well, last night I was doing overtime. We were working on a factory and there's a penalty clause, so we're pushing it. Overtime and a bonus.
What time did you work till?
Till 10:30 last night. Is it something to do with time you're after?
Yes.
What time?
Max, tell him.
1 o'clock this morning. Say midnight till 1.
At midnight I was in Stockport, and that is 200 miles away. You can check with the foreman. I was on the site till 10:30 and then had a drink with the squad. And you can check with my landlady. I had supper there and then packed to catch the 12:38 train to come home to see Ma.
Can I have your landlady's name and address?
You can have her card. Here it is. She does a very good bed and breakfast if you're interested.
Thanks. DC Maxton's been writing the gist of what we've been saying on a statement form. Just the facts and the times. Is it ready, Max?
Here it is, Sergeant.
Right, read it over, Billy. And if it's OK, sign it. Then DC Maxton will sign it. And I'll be back in a few minutes.
Oh, it's you, Dave. Come in.
We picked up Billy Lowry.
Where?
At his mother's house. It's like you said. He says he's working in Stockport. Was working late last night and his foreman will vouch for it. Was at his digs there until after midnight and his landlady will say so and he got into London at 4:10.
So?
Well, that's his statement. When he signed it, do I let him go?
Oh, what's your feeling?
That he'll get these witnesses. The dancer will make the most of it and that his story will stand up. But I still think they did it.
Well, you could be right, Dave. I've just had the report from forensic. The gun hasn't been found yet, but they made a comparison test on the bullet taken from Denning. As a result of that test, the scenes of crime officer returned to the offices to make a further search, and the cartridge case was found.
So we have found something?
Well, don't jump to conclusions. Wait till I've finished.
Yes, sir.
The report says the grooves and striations on the bullet and the pattern of the firing pin on the base of the cartridge case match with the prints of the gun used by Ted Crerand on the factory job.
Then it figures, doesn't it? Old man Crerand left it behind and the young ones used it.
Dave, watch it. The forensic report simply says it was from the same gun. The gun wasn't found and there is no evidence what Crerand did with it, whether he hid it or threw it away or sold it to somebody.
But it's all there. He hid it at home. The young ones fell heir to it and carried it when they went thieving. And last night they had to use it.
That is supposition, Dave. That is not evidence.
Then listen to this bit of supposition. The gun was left behind by Uncle Ted. The young ones took to carrying it because it made them feel professional. So it had to be the Lowrys. And if the guards saw 4 of them, then Billy was there.
And his statement says he wasn't.
Yeah.
I'll get on to Stockport Police and we'll have his story checked minute by minute. His workmates, his landlady, the ticket collectors at the station.
No, so there's a quicker way. When he signed the statement, I'll let him go.
Go?
Say that I believe him. I want to trace that gun, but more important, I need some solid evidence now. And I think this is how to get it. The Lowrys and the Crerans are a tightly knit family, and being family, they trust each other and believe that if they stand together and tell the same story, they'll be all right.
So you let one of them go?
The smartest one. The old saying, sir, blood is thicker than water. Well, there's another one that says there's nothing more bitter than a family feud. I'm going to start a feud. I'm going to break that family. And now that I know it was Ted Crerand's gun, I've got it made. Do I have your permission to let Billy Lowry go?
Well, it's your case.
Thank you, sir. I'll get Harrison to tail him.
Dave, Mr. Downsey is getting very impatient.
It won't take long, sir.
Here's the statement, Dave. Signed and witnessed.
You've checked it, Billy?
Yep.
Good. I've spoken to the Chief Inspector, and there are no more questions for you.
I can go.
You can go back to your ma.
Are you letting my brothers out?
Well, not yet, Billy. You know how everything has got to be checked in here. They told us a story about all being at home in bed and someone thought they saw them in the street. You know how it is.
Oh, sure.
But it won't take long.
Can I see them?
What do you think, Max?
Yeah, let him see them.
OK, bring them along.
What's it all about, this thing that happened at 1 o'clock?
Oh, of course you don't know, do you? An office was done in Manton Street. A safe opened. And the night guard came and saw 4 lads at work on the safe. Well, he thought it was you lads. It had your style. And we grabbed a bit too soon. You know how it happens.
Yeah, but it isn't nice when it happens. Ma must have gone spare.
She said a few things.
I'll bet she did.
There are still a few loose ends to be tied, so keep it short, Billy. Just a smile, a few words of cheer, and no trying to pass anything.
Sure.
Oh, here they come.
All right, lads, stay in line. It isn't a party.
Well, there you are, Billy. Your brother Jimmy, Tommy, and Hughie Craren.
What's happened, Billy?
Nothing's happened, Jim. I came to see Ma and I came to see you, that's all. Innit, Sergeant?
Yeah, that's about it.
And I can tell Ma that you'll be home soon.
We going home, Sergeant?
We still have a few ends to tie up. Billy's going home. Well, you've seen them, Billy, and you mustn't keep Ma waiting. Max will show you out.
Yeah, bye, lads. I'll tell Ma you're all right.
He's gone then.
Yeah.
When do we leave?
You don't. Not yet.
What?
None of you leave. I want a word with Hughie.
What about, Mr. Brook?
About your father's gun. I want to know
He's
everything.
got nothing, Hughie. He's bluffing you.
Shut up, Lowry. We're getting down to business now. Come with me, Hughie. Max, leave the other 2 in there. Let them talk if they want to.
What's going on, Dave?
Change your tactics. It's a long story. If they want tea or anything, let them have it. In here, Hughie.
What is it you want, sir?
To talk about the man who was shot this morning. They're saying you did it.
I did it, sir. Who said that?
Who do you think said it, Hughie? Who do you think I had a talk with this morning? Who's just walked out of the station?
Billy.
It doesn't take a lot of guesses, does it? You just ask yourself, who knew it was your father's gun? I'm told he warned you against carrying it, but you wouldn't listen.
Billy wouldn't say that.
Then how do I know it was your father's gun?
He didn't say that. He wouldn't.
He had to say it, Hughie. He comes back from work in Stockport, and his ma tells him you're all in trouble for shooting a man. He can't let his brothers take the blame for something they didn't do. They didn't have a gun.
He wouldn't say that. It's a trick.
Then answer me one question, Hughie. Was it your father's gun? And ask yourself, who knew it? Who could have told me? I'm going to leave you alone for a while, Hughie. Think about what I said. And ask yourself why you are now sitting here all on your own. Max? Is Mr. Darcy still here?
Yes. Look, Dave, what is going on?
I've got a line on the gun. I'm putting pressure on Craren. I don't think he used it, but I think he's the one who'll crack. Have the other 2 been chatting since we left them together?
No. It's been quiet as the grave.
Well, in a few minutes, put Craren in with them. And I'll have a talk with their lawyer. Good afternoon, Mr. Darcy.
I believe you have now spoken with the 4th of my clients, Billy Lowry.
Yes, I have. And he's made a statement.
And are you satisfied with his statement?
Yes, I'm satisfied. He's gone home.
May I see the others now?
Not at this stage, Mr. Darcy.
And why not?
Because there's a possibility of murder in the case. And there's been a new development.
What development? Does it concern my clients?
It does, Mr. Darcy. And you must wait until I've completed my inquiries. Did you put Hughie in with the other 2?
Yes.
What happened?
It was quiet for a while. Then they all started arguing. Have a listen to them.
Have you heard anything they said?
No. Just muffled like that. And if you open the door, it stops.
Well, let's open it. It's gone very quiet in here, hasn't it? You all stand together, not a word in front of the cops. Did you tell them what I said, Hughie? Is that why you were shouting? Is it, Jimmy?
Yeah, I was telling him it's a load of bloody lies. Nobody told you anything about a gun. Nobody, mate. You made it up. When his old man was sent down, you talked about a gun, said his old man had one. Now you're saying Hughie had it. It's a load of bull, and you know it. Don't believe him, Huey.
All right, let me ask you a question. Who would know where the gun came from? And who was it came here, made a statement and was allowed to walk out?
Billy never made a statement to you.
Max, show him the statement. There you are.
Let me read it.
No need for you to read it. You said he never made a statement. You can see he did and he signed it. And from that statement, we have questions to ask you. And to ask Huey. Max, take Huey out.
This way, lad.
Well, Jimmy, it's up to you.
I want to see my brief. And we're saying nothing until we've seen him.
Please yourself.
It isn't working, is it? And Dancy is still waiting.
But the acid is in, Max. It may be slow, but it's certain. Where's Crerand?
I've put him in there, by himself.
Go in with him. Say you're preparing the charge. Start preparing it. And then ask casually if he wants to see me first.
Okay. All right, Huey, you don't have to stand up. We're going to get the charge written. Now, let's see. How'll it go? That's sometime between the hours of midnight and 1 a.m. on April the 14th in Manton Street in the county of Middlesex, having entered as trespassers a building being a block of offices situated in 25 Manton Street. You stole from there... it was £50,000, wasn't it?
I don't know what it was, sir.
Well, this is a holding charge for now, so we can call it a sum of money. So, you stole therefrom a sum of money, being the property of the Manton Finance Group, and that in order to escape from the building you discharged a firearm and did attempt to murder...
No!
John Denning, aged 43...
I didn't shoot him! I said I didn't shoot him, sir.
If you're just denying it again, we're not impressed. And we're going ahead with the charge. But if you've got something to tell Sergeant Brook, he might see you.
I want to tell him something.
Dave? He wants to see you.
Right. What is it, Huey?
Why do you keep saying I had the gun?
Well, someone had it.
I didn't.
Who had it, Huey?
Billy.
Billy had the gun?
Yeah,
You'll have to say it louder, Huey, so I can hear you. Who shot the guard?
Billy.
Louder.
Billy!
Did you see him shoot the guard?
Yes.
But how could he, Huey? He wasn't in London. He was 200 miles away, working. He has his mates to say so.
No. He was here. He came last night.
Where did you meet him?
When we went home from the cafe, he was waiting at our house.
Waiting at your house?
Yeah.
Why your house?
The gear was there. And the gun.
If he was at your house, did your mother see him?
Yeah. She made tea for him.
And your ma will back you up, won't she? She'll speak up for her own son.
Yes, sir.
OK, Huey. Just sit there for a moment, and then DC Maxton will get it all written down. Would you like something to eat?
Yes, please.
Max, a minute.
Right.
Get his statement, Max. Blow by blow from the time Billy was waiting at the house. What they did, what they said, and especially what the mother said when Billy was having tea. In his own words, what time they got to Manton Street, who did the break-in, the jacket being torn, throwing it into the dustbin, everything.
Dave, this is just one lad's word against another.
Well, on the shooting, yeah. But I don't care who fired the shot. We'll get to that when the family row really blows up. This puts all four of them in that office, and no one else. So I want that statement and their names on the charge sheet. And for my money, the youngster's right. It was Billy. So have the constable get him a cup of tea and a pie.
Yes, Dave.
I'll get Harrison to bring Billy in. And while we're waiting, I'll have a word with Mr. Dancy. Is he still here?
Yes, here he is.
Ah, at last, Sergeant. You're now setting them free.
No, sir. I'm afraid they're staying with us.
May I ask why?
Yes, you may. It happens that their special bedtime story wasn't well enough rehearsed for their tiny minds. It didn't account for one of them using a gun. So your clients are no longer playing stand together. They're playing truth and consequences. And there's a right old squabble going on.
I demand to see them. Now.
If you'll wait, you can talk to them after they've been charged.